Good morning. We just completed a CEO forum. Alan Fortenberry and the organization of Beaver Water District was our host this morning, and we had a wonderful CEO forum. And I'm in the room here with Lowell Grisham and Alan Fortenberry. And one of the things we've been wanting to do is we all got to benefit from John Lewis and his great leadership. John passed a few years ago, and we thought we would interview a series of people, two of the first today, on what made John Lewis a great leader. And that's what we're going to do this morning. So we'll be asking Alan and Lowell what made John Lewis a good leader.
The things that I look back on and think of John that impacted me in regard to why do I think he was a good leader. Two things, primarily his patience. He had a lot of patience with me.
He did have patience.
And I think that he had a lot of patience with lots of folks. Yeah. And he was very thoughtful. Through that patience then, his thoughtful nature, and he had excellent communication skills. I mean, he could get me to do things, almost unknowingly get me to do things, simply by the way that he communicated. And so he led people through a direction. The man had tremendous vision, and he kept telling me in my position, it wasn't the day-to-day things that I should mainly concern myself with. It's what's out 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
I think you helped Lowell with the 100 years strategic plan. Lowell gets to share that for the St. Paul's Episcopal Church.
Is that right? Yeah, and that's in our business. Again, if you look at it, most people don't realize if you looked at how long it would take you from the time that you conceived the idea to expand a facility to the time you could turn on the tap and get a drop out of it, it is about at least 5 years. So you can't say, well, I'm reaching my limit and now I need to build more. You had to think about it way back there 10 years before. Again, that looking out allowed us to allow the Beaver Water District to be in a position that we're postured for growth. I mean, we're not lagging, we're ahead of the game and always have been ahead of the game. But back to John, his leadership, he just looked out and he dreamed. And that's what he tried to teach me. And
he got you to think bigger, kind of more, a little more boldly maybe about the future of the organization.
Absolutely. What position? Financial position, personnel position, what position would you have to be in to handle when you get out there 20 years? He was an enormous leader to me, and I miss him, and I miss the things that he shared with me. His ideas of education and what he felt people should know and should feel. He didn't push his ideas necessarily on someone, but like I say, with his communication skills, he could get you headed in a direction that he could get his way.
That's great. Thank you, Alan.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
I think one of the things that made John unique is he had an incredible ability to vision. He was open, creative, and always thinking. And he was also able to connect things beautifully, and connect people. So if you came with an idea, he would begin to think it in the future. And then he could bring other people to it. He was a maven and connect folks together to make dreams come true. I remember a new parishioner came into my office, and she was talking about a place that was where the cracks were falling through for people at the lowest end of our society, for homeless folks. We had something for people, a place for people to stay overnight, but we had no resources for people during the day who might want to look for a job. And the long and short of it was she had an idea. First person I sent her to, John Lewis. John said, you need to make a business plan. Told her how to do that. You need to talk to this person, this person, this person. She talked to those people. She put together a business plan. Within a few months, she had a vision that made sense, and John had networked her. She brought that to our vestry, and in one meeting, they endorsed the start of what's now the Seven Hills Homeless Center. And it was John's being able to hear something, imagine it several years from now, and give her the steps that she needed to make that happen.
And that's become a great organization.
Yeah.
Thank you for your leadership, your church's leadership in that regard.
Oh, it's been great. It's been fun. He was our vestry senior warden, which is the lead lay person in our system. And he said, you know, this church, I wish I could do an invitation. Oh, this church has been here for 150 years. I wonder what it's going to look like in another 150 years. We need a 150-year plan. So he started us working on thinking about a 150-year plan. So we did an imaginary exercise. Think of yourself in 50 years. Think of yourself in 150 years. Coming on a Sunday morning. What do you see? How are people dressed? How did they get here? What are they excited about? And we started imagining what it would be like to be in our church, to be our community, way, way down the line. And it began to help us think about what now we're just planning, which is a form of current expansion to meet what we need to meet in the next 15 to 20 years.
Right.